Hello, everybody. My name is Frigid Hyperion, and welcome back to the Wilds of Wildemount campaign. This will be session 40, and we're going to be starting off with part 1. With me today, I have Dawn playing as Soren, Lily playing as Windchime, Rocky playing as Edward, Kale playing as Brian, and then Emily is our lovely dungeon master that loves to throw giant monsters at us, as well as do some fantastic voice acting.
Dab.
Did you just say me playing as Edward?
Um,
I
no,
said Rocky playing as
Rocky,
Edward. I
Oh,
think,
but the
okay.
rock part got
Mm.
cut out.
yeah.
um,
And then
before you, oh wait, go
I
ahead.
was going to say, then I play Moonsick.
Um, did we mention that Kale plays Brian?
Do you want me to go through the whole cast again? Is that what's going
No,
No,
on here?
no,
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 no.
no.
It's
We're
okay.
good.
It's okay.
We're good.
Before
Just
we
add this
Wait,
begin,
to
who plays
intro
Brian
flub.
again? I really need to know.
before we begin, I do want to say that last session things went pretty well. You guys had genuinely a really good session. I want to award the hero points to Windchime because frankly, I think you did a really good job role playing a moment that came out of nowhere. Uh, and it was good. Both times.
She got put on the
Uh,
fucking spot.
yeah, with some heavy shit, and I think that that you did a wonderful job. So go ahead and roll me that d6.
Okay.
While she's doing that, if you are curious as to what moments we are talking about, go ahead and watch the last session on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well,
Wow, those sound
That's a
effects
one.
are loud. I have to turn that down too.
I'm lucky.
I'll turn it down to
You
25.
can go ahead and
for now.
add that
mm-hmm.
to your hero point pool. Uh, as for everyone else, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the session with Cameron doing our recap.
So, last time on the Wilds of Wildemount in session 39, we originally had. Well, actually, no. We arrived in Broken Bank to deliver the cannon, and we started the session properly in the Fog and Frog Tavern. And then we realized it was not even midday, so we actually went about doing a few things around Broken Bank Isle. Um, Edward wanted to go off and visit with Fenrir Shinebright, and Moonsick had given the task to Brian to chaperone more or less him, but that kind of went south as they both got into a long discussion with multiple planes and whatnot. Whilst waiting for them, Moonsick and Soren had some sparring on the deck of the Wave Chaser, and that ended up Soren won the match. I don't remember by how much the margin was, but it was a good fight.
It was pretty close.
It was a good back and forth fight. And then there was a very sudden, without warning, relationship uh, issue between Windchime and Nahiri, where Nahiri voiced her concerns for Windchime's well-being, and as well as her own. But after a lengthy and very emotional discussion, um, it seems for now things are, I don't want to say under control because that makes it sound negative, but things are calm, I guess. And then they went back to Broken Bank with the Wave Chaser, and the Legati Company offered up rooms to the crew of the Wave Chaser on Firewatch Island, as they're just as much a part of the team as everyone else, and they should have their own rooms on land that they can come back to crash and to just kind of rest properly. The next day, as we were preparing to set off on the road, um, Soren planted the rose in the hotel room to let Moonsick through, and and everyone else kind of went off to Broken Bank. Whoops. We visited with we visited with Bellwether and told him a couple of our last riveting stories over the past month. 2 or 3 stories. And we got some cheese from him, and we once again got to trial his Assassinberry wine. And I believe we ended the session off with us on our way back to Firewatch Island to begin our travel in earnest.
Mm-hmm. So, you all find yourself saying your goodbyes and making arrangements and exiting the the hotel, I should say, the inn. Uh, Before you leave, somebody needs to talk to the receptionist about paying for that extra night. She did say that she came by late in the night and knocked on the door, and nobody seemed to answer.
Moonsick's Cheem will pay for the extra night.
Okay. Perfect.
Was that, how much is that? A gold?
I think it was it just 5 silver?
5
I think
silver?
it was just 5 silver.
Okay, I'll pay 1 gold and get 5 silver and change.
As you all begin to set off.
Emily, did we long rest?
We did.
I think I'm full up on health, am I not? I am, yep.
Kind of mid. I'll take it though.
Leaving, you go and grab your horses and pay the additional 2 nights that you have stayed as well. Each of that, I do believe, was 5 copper a horse per night. So a silver each.
A silver per night?
Each horse.
Oh, each
No,
horse.
each horse.
That's
So, how much?
14 silver total?
I do believe that there are only 7 horses.
Yes.
So at 5 copper a night.
One.
For 2
Okay,
nights.
so 1 silver for each horse then total.
Yeah.
So that'd be 7 silver.
I thought we were all paying for our own horses, so.
Yeah,
I thought so.
I think we were paying.
Moonsick will pay for Animo's horse.
Okay.
I tried so hard, but eventually I had to pay something, and I no longer have the perfect amount of money.
As everybody pays the 1 silver to get their horse back, you all begin to set out. But let me get this. But as you begin to all hop on your horses, you see a woman who seems to be sitting in the middle of an intersection on the street. She is back up against the wall, a barrel or something along the matter like that, and she appears to be sobbing and in quite a bit of distress. A young woman, probably late teens, early 20s, somewhere in there. Not much younger than a lot of you. Older than some.
Excuse me, my dear.
Are you okay?
What do you... No. My parents. I hate them. Oh.
Cheem will climb off of his horse and then kneel down to be on her level. What's the matter?
I'm just.
Perhaps
My
we take
parents.
this out of the middle of an intersection?
Sure.
Moonsick will
She
offer.
cries.
Moonsick will offer an arm to help her stand up and kind of guide her towards one of the walls.
And she takes it without hesitation. Walks over to the wall where you are.
Now take a nice deep breath and tell me what's going on.
Okay. I tried talking to my parents about my boyfriend, and they said that he was nothing more than a cad. And that under no circumstances was I supposed to be with him anymore. And I love him so much. Oh, Saf. She appears to be in distress over her parents' decision about her boyfriend.
That much is apparent.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know. I think we need to roll an insight check on this.
Yeah.
Um.
Okay, here, let me get on to that.
Oh God, that's loud.
You have
What
no
was
idea
this
why the
one?
fuck she's crying.
Six, tell me.
But how do you respond?
Why is it? Do you think that he thinks he's a cad? That they think he's a cad? What does he do?
I kind of ran out before they even explained themselves. But I promise he is not a cad. He is incredibly romantic and so very sweet, and we are in love. We are in love.
Tell me about him. What is he like?
Well, his name is Saf, and he is a very handsome he's a very handsome half elf, and he loves music and poetry, and he knows everything there is to know about wines and cheeses and all sorts of fancy stuff. And he holds me so nice. Cue my terrible fake crying.
And how about yourself?
Well, my name is Alexia, and I like fancy cheeses and wines too. And I like music and poetry. That's why we got along so well. But he fancies himself a writer. What am I ever to do? How can I tell the man that I love that my parents will never accept him?
I mean, I knew a person kind of similar, but minus the love thing. She ran away and joined the circus.
You're right. I should just run away. I should just run away with Sam.
Meanwhile, Nahiri giving Edward the fucking death stare of a lifetime.
Right.
Windham's gonna butt in here. Perhaps before we rush to that conclusion, maybe he could just try, you know, going the mile and making it up to your parents, proving himself that he's not a cat.
It would never work. Once they get their heads set on something, they're so stubborn. I. You. You're. You're onto something. I. I think. I think I ought to tell him. You see, she pulls out from her purse, a pad of paper and and a pencil and begins scribbling something down. Okay. She folds it up and she hands it to you, team, and says, "Can you please deliver this to my boyfriend? I I think the best course of action is probably for us to elope and run away."
I think this might be a little bit too hasty of a decision to be making on the spot.
Nonsense! Nonsense! You're so right. They would never, ever change their minds. They're so stubborn.
I'm just going to. I'm just gonna lean over to Windcharm and go.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem a little suggestible to you?
Suggestible?
As in, perhaps her parents have a little bit of a point, and
Yeah, I think
that maybe this man might be preying on her trusting instincts.
it does seem kind of young, yes. Um, Perhaps we could maybe talk to your parents before you make that decision. And you know, if you have other people helping you or like behind your back, you know, supporting you, they'll come around.
You don't know them like I do.
I don't know them at all. This is true.
Maybe it could work.
I imagine any parent would be distraught knowing their child was moved to such emotion in broad daylight.
They call me emotional all the time.
And yet, knowing this, they treat you with such harshness?
Exactly.
Emotions are a good thing. They bring
Exactly.
they
That's what
bring
Saf
life.
always says.
They bring life and happiness along with despair, but you also get to choose yours.
Yeah. And I choose Saf. They're terrible parents.
Not people. You don't get to choose your people. You get to choose what you feel. As strange as that is.
I'm sure at heart they're not outright denying your decision. They just care. I'm sure they care a great deal for you. It's just that you're, in their eyes, you're still their little girl, and it's hard to let go of that sometimes. Maybe
Roll me a persuasion check. Oh, go ahead. You can say what you're going to do.
we could perhaps talk to them, and maybe if we can talk it out, maybe they should they should, at the end of the day, let you make your own decisions and support you with it, no matter what, whether it be good or bad.
I hate to do this because this actively undermines what you're saying, but Brian would have a serious problem with what you just said. Are
Hey.
you okay if I interject?
I mean, it's if it adds depth to the scenario, go for it.
Okay. I hate to disagree, but parents don't always know what is right, nor act in their children's best interest is true, but it is a parent's job to protect their child from the world. Why do you think I'm here?
You have a parent?
I have two parents. Everybody does.
Oh.
Oh, like that's new information.
I assumed you were born from some you're God in like the place where you come from, like you were made from magical things.
No, I had parents. Yes, I'm from the Feywild, but
I'll admit
Right.
I don't know much about Fae.
Anyway,
we're not that different. Do I look all ooey and glowy? Please tell me I
Sometimes
don't look all ooey and glowy.
while they're arguing about the Feywild, Jean will continue. I believe my friend has a point, but I believe I have one as well. I think it is a parent's job to protect their child, but at some point, like, your parents aren't going to be there to make every decision for you. They still have a lot of wisdom to give you, however. I don't think... Possibly what they were trying to say came out wrong. They're just worried is all.
a proposal. Here's what we'll do. If you let us talk to your parents and to Saf separately, of course, and we deem that your parents are wrong, we will totally help you elope. But if we feel like they might not be wrong, I think you should listen to your parents.
I mean, wouldn't it be a better judge? It be a better judge of character in order to meet the boyfriend first? No. That way, we actually have a semblance of clue as to what the person in discussion of the topic here.
Not only that, but it would help to create less bias. We
I
know...
agree with that plan.
I think we should meet the boyfriend first and then go and talk with the parents. Feels weird coming in as a fourth party in all this, but still.
I was going to ask if we're butting in, but it seems like you desperately want help.
I really need help. Yeah, but you guys kind of you will understand once you meet him. You will know what I'm talking about. He is a little weird, a little eccentric, but he cares a lot.
Why do I feel like my first thought is going to be, oh my god, he is a cad?
Well, he's a poet.
She scribbles down on the front of the folded piece of paper in an address. and hands it to. Well, I guess she probably already handed it, but she hands it back to you, Cheem, and says, "This is where he lives."
I understand.
Yes, but for future reference, don't be so eager to hand random pieces of sensitive information to random strangers that you meet in the points of vulnerability in your life.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Just don't worry about it, I guess.
I'm going. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go pack. She says as she bundles herself all back together, wipes her eyes, and makes her way up to the third story. And you see her enter her house, so you know where that is.
Mm. Well, this is a fun afternoon, isn't it?
Well, it is what we do. We do help people.
I suppose so.
I thought we killed things
Can't
for money.
all see bloody fights and battles.
I thought we mostly just killed things for money.
When did we kill things for money? We killed more things that, as a result of their parts, such as organs and whatnot, we've gained a good amount of money from them.
The otter folk. No, we didn't kill those people.
Not that time, at least.
Well, like maybe we should get a move on.
I agree. Let's head to this address. Wow, she's got really, really pretty handwriting.
As you begin to make your way through the city streets, asking for directions just a handful of times, and you eventually are able to make your way to the abode of Saf. You see as you approach a one of the nicer. This is in the nicer part of the city. Where clearly there's a bit of money that's thrown around. As you approach the house that is addressed for him, you notice that it appears to be dark inside. No lights illuminating the interior.
Is there a front door we can knock on?
There is, absolutely.
Windchime will
As-
knock on it.
You head up to the door.
I was gonna try and say something before we approached.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
Perhaps I don't want to seem too intimidating. We are a full adventuring party in high-level gear, all mounted. Perhaps, dismounting and not showing up all at once at the door.
Edward, do you want to come with me around the corner?
Oh, why not?
Am I going to have to deal with this sort of relationship nonsense?
Yeah.
We'll be nearby if you need us. And Edward has coal, so he'll know if you need us.
Oh, we can just bring a bird. It's less intimidating.
As Soren takes the horses off just slightly out of view from the front door, and Edward and Jean make their way around the side of the alley to see if there's another entrance or way to observe. And Brine and Windchime go up to the front door and give a slight knock. Edward and Cheem, tell me, how are you going about this?
I was honestly just kind of like gonna have us wait around the corner so you know there's not 4 of us at his door and that seeming really intimidating. But if there is a chance for a back entrance or like like a side window we can listen through, that I wouldn't mind.
How very roguish of you.
Well,
Uh,
go ahead and roll me a perception check, and I'll see if you can maybe find one. Uh,
no.
so you kind of go around the side of towards in the alley, and it is very difficult to tell in these city streets um, what is one place versus another. Uh, but you think you have found a window, a dark window that you might be able to peer and hear through.
I'm gonna look inside the window.
It appears to be a sort of kitchen area.
Anybody inside though?
It appears to be dark.
Dark vision?
With dark vision, you can see there is a little bird that is sleeping in a large and elegant cage, not cave.
Oh, there's
That
an
is
entire
off in the
cave
corner.
inside of this kitchen. I mean, what?
Damn it.
That appears to be sleeping soundly.
Doesn't look like anybody's inside that room right now.
Is there any way to lift, like, the pane of glass a little bit to, like, hear inside?
Yeah. This is on the first floor, so I would presume that it's locked, which means it would require your lockpicking proficiency and tools.
How
Be
many,
able to.
how many people
move it
are in
open.
this alleyway by chance?
It's pretty quiet.
Okay. Yeah. Lockpicking, you said?
Mhm.
Thieves' tools, dexterity, +5.
So with a 27.
+5 because of the gloves is 32.
Oh, right. 32.
32.
Ew.
Yep, 32.
You begin to take out your tools before you recognize the lock that is on the inside of this door, and with a gentle tapping of your fist, you're able to hit it in just the right way that swings the lock open and open it. Just because you're that good.
Before you ask, Edward, there was a lot of rust on this lock. Anyone could have done this.
As you
I
slide,
wasn't asked, but okay.
as you kind of slide the door open, excuse me, the window open, there's plenty of space for you to crawl inside if you so desired.
Before I decide to crawl through, can we hear anything? Like through the door? Can we hear someone's voice? Can we hear Brian or Windchime or Nahiri's voice?
Currently, you don't hear much of anything. It seems very quiet inside this place.
We haven't started yet.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna throw up a detect thoughts.
Okay,
It's
what's the range of it?
concentration as well.
What's the range?
I think it's 30 feet, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
It's concentration up to 1 minute. So
As someone
30
you have
feet
to
range.
see, though, right?
30 feet. So
30 feet, and you have to see them? Is that true?
I do not. Actually, it specifically states I don't even need to see the creature. As long as there's a creature that I can, a sentient creature with an intelligence score, I think above 3 or whatever, I can detect them even if they're invisible.
I'm
Like, I can detect them.
curious. Do you detect Cheem's thoughts?
Yes. Well, it's surface level thoughts, right?
Yeah. What is the surface level
I'll
thoughts
put it
of
in
Cheem
chat
right now?
so that you guys can see.
Thank you.
It has to be intelligence of 3 or, sorry, 4 or higher. So
The
3 or lower, I can't detect.
The surface level thoughts of Cheem is that he's genuinely curious about what this guy is going to be like, and then also like hoping that things work out between him and his girlfriend, but he's also on the alert if he's a player, to put it bluntly.
Okay. Uh, with that, we move to our other two. Nahiri having gone with Soren and not to leave anyone singularly alone, uh, especially with all those horses. The two of you go up to the door and knock, knock, knock. A few moments pass before the door swings open, and you see in front of you a small, probably halfling height automaton.
Like a machine?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's got four wheels on the touching the ground, and a bulky but curved body, if that makes sense, where clearly it's not just a straight box on wheels, rather it has an intricate design to it, and you can see in a cage on its chest is a purple stone thrumming with magic. It blinks at you with large purple eyes that kind of slightly glow as well, and says, um, "How can I help you today?" in a very choppy, unnatural voice.
Hello. We're looking for what was his name? Brian.
It's
What was his name?
Sal.
I don't believe we got a name.
It was
it's
Sal.
Saf.
Or
Saf.
Saf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
We're looking for Saf.
Ah, the young master is out at the moment, having dinner.
Do you know where? Wait.
I believe he said he was heading to. Hey guys, what is a great name of a nice restaurant?
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. He said he was headed to Olive Garden, just a few blocks
Oh.
away.
That's like a really fancy place, huh?
It's a fairly nice place.
Is he gonna be back soon?
I'm afraid he only left a mere 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
May-
He's probably still waiting for a table then.
May I ask a question of you?
Certainly.
What is the nature of his engagement to head out to such a fine establishment?
You can see like the mechanical whirring throughout this automaton's body, and he says, "I'm afraid that young master Saf is private with his engagements."
Of course, my apologies.
Is Aaron and Moonzik hearing all of this?
Not currently, but we're gonna swing back to you. What are you doing?
We don't hear anything at all. I would imagine that if we...
Anybody with detect thoughts? I know I can't detect the bird because it's got less than 3 intelligence, but
No.
No. I don't sense anybody ahead. I think we should just sneak in, go forward.
Perhaps, but what if we have the wrong house? Or, wrong abode? Yeah.
Sure.
Worst case comes to worst, we're leaving Port Zoon anyway.
Worst case comes to worst, I'll try to find a way to escape.
Yeah, I'll give it a try then, and Jim will climb through the window, I guess.
As you climb through the window, please roll me a stealth check.
Loud crashing noises inside.
Oh no!
You,
That's a nat one. Oh,
as
okay.
you step into the
Fuck.
into the house, your knee just ever so faintly, since you're behind him. Actually, this is important. But your knee ever so slightly hits the table, just moving it maybe a third of an inch. Um, and uh, with that, the bird wakes up and begins chirping.
And can I detect the bird's thoughts?
No.
We just went over why
No,
we
I'm
couldn't do that.
thinking if the bird is like a druid wild shaped or something, it keeps its intelligence, right?
Oh, fair.
Like, always be suspicious and vigilant of everything.
And it begins chirping rather annoyingly. And you hear a call from deeper into the house. Meredith, shut that damn bird up!
Oh no.
Am I still at the front door?
You are at the front door.
I'm going to assume that the robot is Meredith. I understand you probably have something to do. Before
You
that,
don't hear anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, really?
We got the wrong house.
We got the wrong app.
Oh no.
Yeah, you do not hear that.
I'm sorry. I made assumptions.
Oh no.
Committing
We don't
breaking
know
and
that we got
entering
the
for
wrong
no
house.
goddamn reason.
As far as we know, we're in the right house and nobody is home.
Well, you definitely know somebody is home
does
now.
Edward see me?
Edward is like right behind you.
Is he
Like
in?
he hasn't come through the door. He has not climbed through the door window yet.
Like,
but he is like looking at your back.
like, Jima's gonna make a big waving motion, like pushing him out the window, like, and like crossing his hand across his neck, like, "Do not come in here. I got this."
I'm just gonna like back off.
And are you staying? Are you also trying to exit?
I'm staying. I'm going to lower myself to the floor as if I fell in, and I'm going to just start muttering to myself. I thought, where's the light? It should be around here somewhere.
You see a woman march her way into the room, and you see a faint flicker of magic as the room is illuminated. As she walks in,
Who turned that on?
and,
Oh.
you hear a terrible scream. Everybody hears a scream, including those at Saf's house.
What are you doing in my house?
Um,
Wait, this is
and
my
she
house, isn't
runs.
it?
She runs out of the room. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
You better fucking roll high.
Yeah!
That's pretty high. I would say that's
Sitting-
pretty high.
It's
Yeah.
such-
Cowering behind the doorway, peering in, looking at you, looking a complete mess and confused, and all of the confidence of somebody who thought this was their house but then realized that it wasn't, and flush of embarrassment. You pull it off expertly. As she says, who are you and what are you doing in my house?
I'm sorry. My name is
The
Richard.
entire time the bird
Oh.
chirping of the bird.
I'm sorry. My name is Richard. I thought this was my house. I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere, and I couldn't. I thought I left my key inside, so I normally keep the window locked, but I'm able to open it up just as easily, and I'm terribly sorry.
Okay, then I would like to politely ask you to please leave my house.
Yes, of course. I'm so terribly sorry.
It's at this moment you see a big buff man make his way down. He's got a long beard that is salt and peppered. Um, as he makes his way to stand behind you now, presume his wife, and
I'm so sorry for the trouble. Please take a couple of gold for my accidental intrusion.
yes, of course. Where did you say you lived again?
I live down the street. It's it's a section of the building that looks a lot like yours. I must have taken a wrong turn.
Uh-huh. Um, would you like to use the front door?
Sure.
And as you kind of like turn to close the window, I presume,
Yeah.
and walk up to this this scared and alarmed couple. Um,
I put 2 gold into the man's hand.
well, please don't stop by again. No offense.
No, I completely understand. If I don't know what happened today. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I guess. I'll never be here again.
As you exit the house, you find that it kind of comes out the other side on the street behind the street you guys were just at.
As they close the door behind Cheem, he just looks around and sees us and he says, bloody hell.
As you see like them the man kind of like holding his wife like around the shoulders, she gripping his hand, knuckles white. You hear, go ahead and actually roll me. Yeah, you know what, you just hear it. You hear him whisper to her, I will never say anything about that damn bird again. And as you walk your way down the street, to loop back around.
Yup.
That's fucking phenomenal.
This is a little awkward.
Oh, hell
The two
yes.
of you have just heard a ear piercing scream coming from the alley that Edward and Cheem just went down.
All right. Forgive me. I fear I should probably make sure everybody's all right there. Before I leave, can you tell your master, a young woman by the name of Brian was looking for him and wished to discuss something.
You don't want to just go to the restaurant and find him?
No, I don't think I do. And does he have a way of contacting more privately and from distance?
Same as anybody else in the city, just go to the coal masters.
I'm sorry, I am a bit of a foreigner. You'll have to forgive my lack of knowledge in the subject. The call masters?
The people who cast sending for you. utmost confidentiality.
I see. Well, this is my information. Sending cards. And then I'm going to head off.
Okay. You see, as you kind of like turn and start walking your way towards the alley, the head of Edward peeking its way out from around the corner.
What do you... Oh, we got the wrong house, didn't we? Moonsig's in trouble, isn't he? What? We went into the wrong house. I'm gonna say this with my head kind of hung down.
Of course you did.
I mean, we didn't know the back streets were kind of confusing.
Well,
As
good news.
Cheem comes around the corner, he says,
Yeah.
"That was the wrong house. That was the wrong house. Oh, hello."
Well, that got cut short. He's currently out.
Oh.
To a rather fancy restaurant in the area. The reputation is not what caused her parents to have issue.
You don't actually know for certain. No indication of what the engagement that he was attending was. And to be honest, you made a conclusion that Olive Garden was a nice restaurant, but you are not familiar with this city. I want to make that clear.
I am aware. I think more to the point, this is a well-off district. And I think, honestly, I think the best thing we can do to ascertain intentions is to talk to him, yes, but also we have a rare opportunity. There's a restaurant in the area. Perhaps we can see what he is doing at a nice restaurant while his girlfriend is crying in a street.
That's not a bad idea. Frankly, anything to get away from this area.
As for directions, that's not to be seen, especially if we're possibly going to talk to him later. I've requested that I be sent to and that we set up a meeting.
Okay. Did you say Olive Garden?
Yes.
Cheem, that rings a bell because when you asked for directions earlier, they said if you have reached the Olive Garden, you have gone too far.
Well done.
If you hit my moat,
What a
you've gone too
coincidence.
far.
Honestly, that's just a good motto for life. If you've reached Olive Garden, you've gone too far.
I love Olive Garden. I
Yeah, me
do.
too.
Not sponsored
Me
by
too.
Olive Garden.
Could be sponsored by Olive Garden.
Well then, I think I know where it might be. If we continue down the street, we'll find it. At least we should.
Sorry, I don't think I caught all of that.
I said it should be down the street. I remember the directions telling me that if we reach the Olive Garden, then we've passed the address itself.
We have no way of identifying what he looks like.
I imagine if it's a restaurant, it's probably got something flashy that stands out from the
He
regular
looks
houses.
like, not it looks
We-
like.
Oh,
We can just ask the waitress.
No.
You have to make the reservation at Olive Garden. They're gonna know who he is.
I very much hope that the waitress would not just give out the name and location of a person we clearly do not know.
You just like offer them a little bit of coin.
That cannot work. They get paid. They're literally getting paid. They cannot risk
Brian,
more money
Brian,
in the.
think of
They
it
don't
this
get
way.
paid.
Think of it this way. If our cleric has done this sort of thing before, it probably works.
I don't understand why money is worth so much to you. They're little, shiny. I get it. I get that they buy a lot. I've had enough time here to understand that, but I do not understand. Oh, whatever.
Someday.
Uh, you all begin your trek down down the street, and find the aforementioned restaurant Olive Garden. Uh, it is rather nice on the inside. You've got well adorned walls and it appears to be a reservation only restaurant, uh, with small intimate tables, each lit by candles. Rather romantic.
Is there any table that has just a single person at it?
There is no table that has a single person, but there are a couple of couples.
Oh.
Is there any table where it could be conceivable that there is not a couple?
A
In,
couple
like,
as in two
Minnesota
people.
type?
There are larger tables off to the side for groups.
Are there
Um,
any tables with half elf, like just a single half elf?
Or is there
At
the
least
point
one.
is process of elimination. I think you know where we're going with this.
Yeah, he's definitely cheating.
Is there a half elf that that isn't there on a date?
well, I can't tell you. You don't know everybody's motivations, but
Can you
that's
tell
the
us
whole
who's a
point.
half elf?
But you do see somebody who does appear to be a young half elf. It happens to be facing in your general directions, pokey ears, and he appears to be smiling quite widely. Um, there is a person sitting in front of him with their back turned to you, with long brown hair reaching down part the way through the back. It's been braided and looks well put together from the back side of the head. As you walk, you're sure you're like peering through the window.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me an insight check, Windchime, since you're kind of peering in as well.
Yes. Also, do we have a hostess? Like,
Well, you haven't walked in.
Okay.
With a 10, okay. I am actually going to ask to pair that with a perception check as well for you, Windchime, just so that I have a better understanding of what you can't see. The 15. You peer through the window with all of your compatriots, trying to make yourselves look as nonchalant as possible, and you don't see much besides the back of this woman and the face of this boy. You do, however, see a very large and fancy looking ring on the side of the table. And it
Ooh.
appears that that their hands might be touching, although
Okay.
it is kind of blocked in front of
I'm
her.
gonna send a message to the. I forgot her name. The girl that was crying that we met,
Alexia.
Wait.
Alexi. I'm gonna send a message.
Make sure your devices aren't turned on, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast sending, and I'm gonna say, come to the Olive Garden. Tell us if you we found him. Tell us if you think that tell us what you think of him after you see this. Right?
Ooh.
Olive Garden ASAP.
You said that out loud because you have to say it out loud, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Edward,
Oh,
what are
do I
you
actually
doing?
have to send that out loud?
You do have to say it out loud. Yeah, it has a vocal component.
Yeah.
It does. You're right. I'm gonna
Yeah.
whisper it.
Okay. You guys are all right
let,
next to each
let
other.
Windchime hear you. Come on.
So yeah, Windchime, with your passive perception, you can hear his whispering standing right next to you.
Yes.
What are you
Not,
whispering, Edward?
it's not bad.
Uh, nothing much in particular.
You're just talking to yourself again?
You could hear the contents
Yes.
of his message.
Come on.
I'm.
Come on.
We've
It's
talked
like-
about this before. Like with the whole with message as well has been established before. You
Okay,
can hear
okay.
what he's saying.
Did you just tell that girl to come here?
Actually,
Yes.
that makes a whole lot more sense than our plan of guessing who they are.
Yeah, but like, what if we don't know what the situation is yet? Like, we just got here.
We've
It was either
immediately
that or
run into the snag that he's at a fancy restaurant. We don't know what he looks like, and we perhaps can't understand his motivations.
Yeah, like
We
that
should-
could be his mom, guys.
So why not get her here? Have her introduce us. What better advocate for him than the person who claims to love him with all her heart?
Well, her parents literally told her not to see him again. I thought that's why we were gonna.
Well, she clearly doesn't intend to listen.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we could still do a little bit more investigating.
Without knowing for sure that that's who he is? Come on.
Well, I was gonna talk to a hostess and like see, you know? That's why.
You know, don't you have that psychic thing?
Yeah,
Why
but
talk
it's
to the
only-
hostess?
it's with only with close friends, really.
Have you ever tried listening in on others?
It's not really. That's such an invasion of privacy, Brian.
We are staring through a restaurant window at a couple trying to figure out what they're up to in order to gauge the character of somebody before they elope.
Okay, okay, fine. I'll try it. I'll try it. So Windchime will stare really hard at this guy that we think is Saf, and see if she can hear his thoughts.
Okay. Detect thoughts. Are you probing deeper and letting him know or not?
No, I'm trying to do it without him knowing.
Okay. You from him the brief flashes of information that you gather is excitement, like anticipation, love, elation, just generally of he is like overfilled with emotions right now. The and you also get a heavy sense of pride.
Yeah. Okay. That still does not tell me very much. I think we gotta go in.
What?
like, I don't know. Like, I mean, he feels like his emotions are like giving me good vibes, sort of, maybe, if they're in the right
What vibes are they giving you?
just like happy vibes.
Like the
cannot
ones
think
you'd
of
get
what
in
I
a
don't think.
relationship? Because if that's the case, we have a problem.
Well,
Yes,
well,
I was about to say.
let me just go in. Winston is gonna go in.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
When chime. Say it one more time.
Okay, she's gonna go in and find the hostess and give the host the gold coin right away before
Oh
she says.
no.
Okay.
Oh my
What do you say?
god.
I'm looking for my friend Saf.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Nat 20! Let's go!
No.
You
No
see,
way.
Let's fucking
she
go!
slides the coin off the counter, puts it in her pocket, doesn't say anything to you, but rather just nods her head in the direction of Saf.
Oh my fucking god.
Is it
Guy?
the same person?
Say
It's
more?
the
What city? It is the same. It's the same one that you saw before.
Okay.
The half elf man. Boy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So Windchime is gonna take a deep breath. What do we have on?
We're all watching from the window. Like a bunch of fucking creeps.
Or it's just all cartoon style. All of our faces are smushed into the window.
Yeah. So she has a horn. I'm assuming it's more like a war horn than a musical instrument.
Okay? So what you're going? Tell me what you're gonna do.
Okay, so
I'm liking this.
the idea is she's gonna go up to the table and act like some sort of bard that was sent.
Oh no!
Okay.
Tech Thoughts is up this entire time. She will hear all of his surface
all of his
thought.
surface level thoughts. Okay.
Oh
So-
no!
What do I see when I get closer to the table, though? Like they're holding hands
So-
and there's a ring.
As you see, excuse me, as you approach the table, you see the woman's hand kind of like clutching Saf's hand. Not in like a hard way, but just in like a very comforting, like.
Does she have
Good
the
way?
ring on her hand?
No, she does not. It is currently sitting on the table.
Okay. Okay, actually, Windchime is gonna like casually walk past and then be like, "Oh my goodness, that's such a beautiful ring."
The woman looks up to you and makes eye contact, and
Did he just propose to you?
she looks at you and blushes fiercely, and says, "Oh no, 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 there's no engagement going on here. Just, well, what do I call you now?" I assume she's going to say yes. So, my son-in-law.
Oh. Yeah? Who's the lucky girl?
You see he is kind of fidgeting himself now and says, her name, oh gosh, I don't do the voice. Her name is Alicia.
Yeah, okay. Wow, wow, that is a big ring.
And
That
as you look at the ring, it is very large. It is ornate and appears just on first glance to probably be a fairly family heirloom.
did we ever get the name of that girl who was crying?
You
Alexia.
did.
What was her
That's
name?
what I meant. Did I Alexia?
Alex.
Excuse me. I think I said
Alexia?
Alicia,
Oh,
but
You
it's
not
said
Alexia.
Alexia.
Alicia,
You
yeah.
said Alicia
I said
now
Alicia.
and
It's the
Alexia
same one.
earlier,
It's
so
Alexia. Excuse
Okay,
me.
so it's the
it
same
is
girl. It's the
supposed to be the
same
same girl.
girl. Okay. Okay, woo. Wow, okay. I hope it goes really well. Sorry, I was just on my way to the bathroom. Sorry to bother you.
No worries. No worries. Uh, and you see Saf take a big drink of water.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because comedic timing is what it's all about. Um, it
Uh-oh.
is in this moment that for a lot of you, having not heard this conversation, just seeing everything that goes on through the window, um, see Alexia just bolting at full speed
Oh no.
towards the Olive Garden, uh, and kind of goes and stands next to you all uh, and sees Saf sitting at the table and a woman's back turned, and you hear just the most heartbreaking little like gasp from her as a second passes and she is committed to a decision to running inside, pushing past.
I'm gonna stop her from going in.
No, you cannot stop her from going in. You have no idea what this conversation was about.
Uh-oh.
I
You
would
can't hear what's
have
going on inside.
I would have actually talked to her though. Anyway,
I mean,
may I still talk to her?
yes, you
Like,
can.
I was
But
gonna
again,
like
she's
physically
not
hold
very I she's not
Sorry,
very
we're just trying to identify whether that half house is really safe.
yes, it is. It's him with another woman.
That was shit.
And you see, are you going to try to restrain her,
yeah,
Edward?
yeah, I'm gonna like
Okay.
physically grab onto her. I'm gonna say, wait, at least wait here before you make any hasty conclusions, rushing in yourself.
Are you attempting to grapple her or just kind of like basically I want to know if you're contesting this, if you're actually trying to hold her in place.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna grab her arm and hold her in
Okay.
place.
Oh shit.
Um go
Athletics.
ahead and yep.
Alrighty.
Oh no!
I am going to contest that here.
Can I force a portent?
Nope!
You
No.
see that
I was gonna force a
The power of love compels her.
I was gonna force a 5.
The
So then it's this-
power of love compels her.
What a fucking
literally,
trip!
so not funny. As you kind of reach out to hold her, you see she pushes you back, and you get a couple of very confused and concerned glances from people passing by as you. A crying woman rips herself away from your arms and rushes inside the building. Um, pushing past the hostess, you Windchime see her making her way, stomping full force towards Sap, who stands up at first like happy and excited, uh, and immediately you see his hand go for the ring to hold on to it, uh, before his face drops and you see uh, confusion and panic as an angered Alexia charges forwards towards him. standing now, she goes up to him and slaps him across his face
Oh.
and
Wait.
and says, "You can."
Oh
Oh
no.
no. Wait, Windchime definitely steps in and like tries to like
Are you heading to the bathroom?
well
was,
yeah,
but this
like
all
go
happened.
through a roundabout sort of. I didn't actually have to go.
Before what do you do?
Well, Windchime says, Alexia, it's not what it looks like.
And her eyes flash up to you. You see tears streaming down her face. As the woman who was sitting simply, you see she takes a little napkin and wipes her mouth and goes, and anger is just covering Alexia's face as she snarls at her before her face drops in confusion and she goes, "Mom?"
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
And kind of holding onto his face, Saf just begins just kind of laughing to himself as Alexia's mom says, "Why don't you take a seat?" And stands up to let her daughter sit down in the chair, and goes and stands a ways away, as Asaf
Offers her a
looks
breadstick.
as Saf uh, sits back down in his chair and says to her, "Alexia, you have my heart and my soul, and every moment I have spent with you has been nothing but anticipation for the rest of my life. I am so helplessly in love with you. That's why I brought your mother here to Olive Garden to ask her for your hand in marriage. And we have had a wonderful conversation about you and us and me, and I have hopefully assuaged all of her fears of me not loving you to the deepest pits of my heart. Alexia," you say, he says as he sorts himself up, um, and uh, kneels down on the ground, his face beginning to red from the very hard slap across
No.
his face. Uh, "You have my entire heart and soul, my dear. Will you marry me?" And he pulls out from the palm of his hand uh, the family heirloom ring, and uh, in a matter of seconds, all of the anger and fear and frustration melts off of her face as she stands up and just cheers. I do, of course. I'm so sorry I slapped your face. And he says, it's no matter, as they embrace and kiss, and he puts the ring onto her finger.
Oh.
Windchime is just standing there awkwardly.
Pouring out. um,
Sheen turns to Rhyme and says, "Well, that's not what I thought was going to happen."
um, as they begin uh, as they are embracing each other, everybody in the Olive Garden begins to politely clap um, for the proposal. Uh, they sit down, and at this point, completely oblivious to the entire world, um, begin in like a intense conversation between the two of them. Windchime, with your detect thoughts still up, again, love, excitement, just very positive emotions, and they seem to be completely enraptured with each other, even completely forgetting about Alexia's mom standing just, 10 feet away, who is smiling, and you see her kind of like wipe a single tear from under her eyes.
Windchime will slowly back away and like give them their space.
As Are you exiting the Olive Garden?
Yeah.
As you meet back up with the party, who is all still kind of staring through the window.
Wow,
Watching.
that went much better than it could have.
What just happened? She slapped him, and then now suddenly he gets on his knee and gives her. What?
He was asking her mom if she could marry her. Guys, I told you it wasn't what it was.
Oh.
Jumping to conclusions.
Oh,
Just
what
by
did we
chance,
learn?
Windchime, that plan you had said about going to talk to the waitress, how did that end up?
Oh, it went perfectly well. She was very helpful.
It's like
Never crossed waitresses.
his music turns to Cheem and like points both of his hands at Brine, like, yeah, told you.
Right, Brad's going to look at Windchime and go, "How much did you pay her?"
It doesn't matter.
How much?
A whole gold piece.
He works at an establishment that
Well,
clearly turns over several gold per table.
yeah, but she doesn't get paid several gold per table.
And she risked her job for 1 gold?
It's just like a little bit of information. No one's gonna know. Have you never worked for tips before?
Is in the pits of despair.
She was just holding a fist over his mouth, trying to keep in the fucking torrent of laughter that's trying to escape.
Also, Edward, I did hear what you were saying. What have we learned?
It all worked out in the end, right, guys?
We learned not to jump to conclusions. You posh
No harm, no
bastard.
foul.
I've learned that you can indeed bribe a waitress at a restaurant with gold.
Yeah, I learned that too. And I am. Whatever. Get me out of this town. I love the town I got here. I'm sick of it all.
You hear the electricity crack in the sky above you.
Zap zap to you too. And Brian is getting on her horse and she is fucking leaving.
Forever. Never coming back.
As you guys get on your horses and make your way out of town.
So, are we going to stop for every crying girl in the streets?
Yes.
Oh god, we're going to spend so long in Nicotranas. And you're not allowed to go to the university? There are far too many of us. I mean, well,
Nicodranas. I was planning on opening up a shop here so we can listen to everyone's troubles. Thought we could open up a side business.
you really think anybody would pay us for that absolute hodgepodge of what happened?
You've
We've
been wrong
asked
once
money.
already today.
Oh god.
Oh god, I'm gonna fucking get it. Music is gonna fucking get it.
You guys hop on your horses and make your way out of Port Zoon, and begin following the path down to Nicodranus, leaving the city of spires, smoke, machine, and electricity behind. I understand it's a little early, I know, but I feel like this would be a really good place for a break. So
I
let's
wouldn't
go ahead
disagree.
and take a half-hour break, and we'll come back on the journey part 2.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us in the absolute fucking shenanigans that was this part 1. We'll see you soon for part 2.